Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican South Carolina, asked the Supreme Court on Friday to halt a subpoena compelling him to testify in a Georgia county prosecutor's criminal probe of potential interference in the 2020 election. Graham's request comes a day after a federal appeals court ordered him to testify in the grand jury investigation that has already embroiled Trump allies like Rudy Giuliani. In a 33-page motion Friday to Judge Clarence Thomas, who handles 11th Circuit emergency requests, Graham's attorneys asked for an immediate emergency stay. Without a stay, Senator Lindsey Graham will soon be questioned by a local Georgia prosecutor and her ad hoc investigative body about his protected speech or debate related to the 2020 election, the file says. It is argued that the court must intervene or Graham's constitutional immunities will be lost, and his statutorily guaranteed appeal mooted, the moment the local Georgia prosecutor questions him. Thomas can decide the matter himself or refer the matter to the full court. The Georgia grand jury was convened earlier this year to assist Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's investigation into possible interference in the 2020 election by former President Donald Trump and others. It has already interviewed a number of high-profile Trump allies such as Giuliani and Trump attorney John Eastman, both of whom have helped push through his fraudulent election claims. The grand jury wants to question Graham about the circumstances of two post-election phone calls he had with Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and his office. Raffensperger, the state's top election official, said Graham pushed him about whether he had the authority to refuse certain absentee ballots, which Raffensperger interpreted as a suggestion that votes cast legally be discarded. Graham has denied it was his intention, saying the calls were investigatory and part of his duties as then chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. State and federal judges have found that Graham's claims that he is immune from questions about the calls are exaggerated. Thursday's appeals court ruling agreed with a lower court, which ruled that Graham should be able to answer some key questions from the grand jury, including whether he consulted with Trump's campaign before the calls. The 11th Circuit said the categories of questioning established by the lower court could not qualify as legislative activities under any understanding of Supreme Court precedent, and investigators could ask Graham about it. Willis's office declined to comment on Graham's request for Supreme Court intervention.